better not count me out. You better count me in.
Count me in. You better not count me out.
It's elementary.
Cause I got a hyper heart.
Cause they say I'm a failure.
Cause I got
Cause
a
I'm
hyper.
hyper.
Cause you better not count me out. You better count me in.
They say I'm a failure.
Cause I got
Cause
a
I'm
hyper.
hyper.
Cause I got a hyper. Got a hyper.
Cause I'm hyper.
Cause I got a hyper. Got a hyper.
Cause I'm hyper.
Cause you better not count me out. You better count me in.
They say I'm a failure. Cause I'm hyper.
Cause I got a hyper. Got a hyper.
Cause I'm hyper.
Cause I got a hyper. Got a hyper.
Cause I'm hyper.
Cause you better not count me out. You better count me in.
They say I'm a failure. Cause I'm hyper.
Cause I got a hyper. Got a hyper.
Cause I'm hyper.
Cause I got a hyper. Got a hyper.
That I'm hyper.
Cause I'ma tell you like
They say I'm a failure. Cause I'm hyper.
Wanna fake it or the hate it and the doubting.
Doubting.
You wanna know the wealth.
What else?
Use a wiggle, use a coward and a snake.
And a snake.
Use a wiggle, use a coward and a snake.
And a snake.
Use a wiggle, use a coward and a snake.
And a
Use a
snake.
wiggle, use a coward and a snake.
Use a coward.
Because I know the low, use a gay snake.
Use a gay
Because I
snake.
know the low, you was not straight. Because I know the low, you's a wiggle man. You's a gay man, wiggle man, snake man.
Snake man, yeah.
Cause I'ma tell you like,
Cause I know they're on the
you better
low.
count me out, you better count me in. Cause I got a hyper heart.
They say I'm failure. Cause I'm hyper.
Cause you better not count me out, you better count me
They
in.
say I'm a failure. Cause I'm hyper.
Cause I got a hyper, got a hyper, got
Cause
a
I'm hyper.
Cause I got a hyper, got a hyper.
Because I'm hyper.
Cause you better not count me out, you better count me
They
in.
say I'm a failure.
Cause I got
Cause
a
I'm hyper.
I said I got a hyper heart. Cause I got a hyper, got a hyper,
Got a hyper heart.
boy. Got a hyper heart.
They say I'm a
You better
failure.
not count me out,
Cause I'm
you better count
hyper.
me in. Cause I got
Cause
a
I'm
hyper.
hyper.
Cause I got a hyper, got a hyper,
Cause I'm hyper.
Cause I got a hyper, got a hyper,
Cause I'm hyper.
Cause I got a hyper, got a hyper,
Cause I'm hyper.
Cause I got a hyper, got a hyper,
Cause I'm hyper.
got a hyper, got a hyper.
Because I'm hyper.
Cause you better not count me out, you better count me
They
in.
say I'm a failure.
Cause I
Cause
got
I'm
a hyper.
hyper.
I said I got a hyper heart. If you didn't hear me,
I
said
got a hyper heart.
boy.